What's up, guys? Zero That Trucker here, back with another video. And we are up here in upstate New York, far upstate New York, Tonawanda, as far upstate New York as we can go before hitting Canada. And you can't see it from here, but on my way in here, I can see right across the lake, and I can see Canada on my way up here. I've been to Canada before, but I've never actually had to pick up a load from there. But we've got some bricks here for refractory, and I've never hauled this before, but it would appear to be very simple to deal with, and I'm going to show you guys what I'm going to do with it. I've already got my plan set out for how I'm going to secure this, and I went ahead and called safety just because I've never done this one before, just to verify, to make sure if my plan of attack was correct. And it is. So we're gonna go ahead and do this, and I'm gonna show you guys what to do in case you ever run into this product. Let's get into it. All right, guys, as I said, we've got some refractory brick, and it's very simple to deal with this stuff. Actually, it's pretty much secured the same way that you would secure a load of shingles, with a slight addition. So we're gonna start here at the front with our X straps right across, and then we're gonna hit it up with 2 straps across on the first pallet, and then we're gonna do a single strap on every pallet after that one. So just 1 strap going down the middle on every one of these skids here, except for the very last one. So we're gonna go ahead and do 2 straps across the last one, and we're gonna go ahead and X strap the back of this as well, just in case, because pretty much every one of these skids is an individual, it's loaded up with individual pieces, but it's shrink wrapped. But I'm always very leery of shrink wrap, just because, I mean, this feels very thin. This feels like the kind of shrink wrap I would put on my food, on my sandwich or something when you're trying to preserve it. It's very thin. I mean, it's held down with these plastic, I forget the name, but these tethers here. But we're also going to put our edge protectors on here, and this load also needs to be tarped. So it's gonna be pretty easy to do, but I want to make sure that my securement is very good. But when you're dealing with this stuff, you can't strap it down extremely tight like you would a load of lumber or like steel rebar. You can't make it bone crushingly tight, because you will possibly break the bricks. You'll crack them, and you don't want a damage claim. So we're gonna have to get it snug, maybe like 1 or 2 clicks past snug, and then have it set like that. And it's gonna be very important that we're doing our load checks to see if the bricks have settled on the pallet any and loosened up the straps, and then we'll just retighten them accordingly. But very important that you are doing your load checks regularly. And when you have stuff like this, you know, it's made out of multiple pieces on individual skids, you know, sometimes I do like an extra load check. You know, like, you're supposed to do your first load check after the first 50 miles or 1 hour after you've picked up your load, and then you do one every 150 miles or 3 hours after that until you get to your delivery location. When I have stuff like this that I'm not 100% certain will stay put, I might throw in, you know, a couple of extra load checks, you know, or more so 1 extra load check in between the normally scheduled load check times. So just do what you need to do to make sure that you are comfortable and that this load is staying put on the trailer where you have it. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and start securing this so we can get on the road, because we have a very long way to go. We're going to Birmingham, Alabama with this stuff, and that is about a 14-hour drive. So we got a long way to go. Let's go ahead and get started. ratchet winch bar. Saves me time out here. Make sure we put a twist in these straps, because we're not going to be able to completely crank down on everything. I mean, you're not really going to be able to see the straps underneath the tarp, but I like to be consistent, so I'll put the twist on regardless if it's going to be something that can't be tightened down or not. Like I said, one click past snug, leave it be. Don't want to crack those bricks. And then we will just check on the tightness during our load checks on our way down the road. Alright, we're semi-finished. We've got all the securement done, but we just got to tarp everything. But before I do that, I want to show you guys what the secured or completed securement product looks like. So, get it up here. As you can see, we got our X-straps, just like I told you guys. And I had to use one of my V-boards, my plastic V-boards, to cover the front because it gave me more surface area. These are 2 feet long. And the standard edge protectors that we use are only a foot, so I wanted to get full coverage and not have to use 2 different edge protectors on this. And I did the same thing on the back. So edge protectors, of course, because like I said, these are cement bricks, and while it is covered in plastic and the edge is semi-smooth, it's still abrasive enough. And if you know, it vibrated too much, or if I, you know, had to stop short and the load pulled forward, it could possibly cut these straps. So you want to make sure you're putting edge protectors on it. Anything that's abrasive, just like metal or metal sharp or like rough lumber, you know, we've got edge protectors going down the entire length of the load. I'll give you guys a 360 look of everything, but as you can see, I alternated my straps as well, even on the first skid here. So buckle side, winch side, that way you have even pull down the length of the trailer. So ratchet, buckle, ratchet, buckle, and that way if you make a turn around a bend, around a corner, you know, the weight of your load doesn't shift to the left or right and pull your trailer all in one direction and make you flip over, because that's a very, very bad day in the trucking world, and you don't want those problems ever, anytime in life. So I would highly advise you to alternate your straps. It would behoove you to do so. But like I said, I got my V-boards up here on the rear one, because that top layer was actually like 2 separate brick pieces, and I didn't want to mess with that as far as like using individual edge protectors. So I wanted to both cover them and like keep them contained, pressed up against the side, which is why I used the V-boards. It's one piece, it's keeping everything pressed with the tension of the straps, tightening it down and holding it still. And edge protectors, of course, on the corners, because that would normally be pressing up against the corner of the individual brick. So no abrasive sides touching the straps at all. So I am very confident in the securement of this. Everything's tight. without being bone crushingly tight. And as you can see, in between these individual bricks, they have styrofoam. That's to absorb some of the shock and keep the vibration of you driving from having these bricks like kind of chattering against each other and increasing the opportunity for a crack to take place. But overall, I think this load's pretty light. I think it's like 43,000 and some change. So it's not very heavy. I should be able to completely fill my fuel tanks on the way up, or I guess the way down to Mississippi. Or not Mississippi, Alabama, Birmingham, Alabama. So I'm gonna go ahead and throw my tarp on here. We're using steel tarps. Unfortunately, this load's too long for me to be able to just use one steel tarp to take care of everything. So we're gonna end up pulling them both out. And I'm gonna see if I have enough surface area left over on my steel tarp to be able to tent tarp this as well. Throw a piece of dunnage in the front and in the rear to make sure no moisture gets under there. But if not, I'll make the proper adjustments and we'll get down the road just fine. So let's go ahead and do that now. All right guys, here we are, set. Got everything tarped up. Wasn't able to do the tent tarping like I was originally planning. I didn't have enough space up front to be able to pull the tarp as tight as I wanted to, and the rear was kind of short as well, so we had to tuck it in instead. But we got it all covered. So here's the completely finished product. Everything's tarped, strapped down securely, and ready to hit the road. I believe in totality this route was about, or maybe not about, actually exactly, I just looked at it, it's 988 miles from pickup to delivery. So we got a lot of time out on the road ahead of us, but that's all right because today is Wednesday and this load does not have to be delivered until Friday. And right now it's about 10:45 a.m. so we've got a lot of time to be able to drive for today. I would love to be able to get this load delivered tomorrow, get it off the trailer and pick something else up. That would be a whole lot of money on my my tally for the entire work week, and then deliver something else Friday morning instead of delivering this one Friday morning like scheduled. But we'll just see. We'll see how the road shakes out, because I believe that the place I'm delivering to, their receiving hours end at 1 p.m. so it's all going to depend on how far I drive today, when I stop, and when I get on the road tomorrow morning. So I may or may not be able to make it. We'll see. But let's go ahead and work in our own best interest and get up out of here. Let's hit the road, guys. All right guys, we made it here. It is Thursday. Now this load didn't have to be delivered until tomorrow, Friday, and yeah, I am sweating a lot right now. It is check that out, 95 degrees out here in Alabama. It's hot. But as you can see, they're unloading right now. Not taking very long to get these brakes off. And let me show you guys. It was actually 988 miles from start to finish, bounce miles and loaded miles to get here. And I drove the hell out of that route, if I don't say so myself. You know, we got here, I believe at 1:15, and it was saying for their Friday hours that you needed to be here before 1 p.m. But I let my fleet manager know. I was like, hey, if I get here, you know, my window, my arrival window, my ETA was saying it was going to be between, you know, 12:50 and you know, 1:20. Got here at 1:15, like I said. Got myself unloaded a day early, and now I'm in a better position for tomorrow, because tomorrow is Friday and I'm going home. So I'm not going to be picking up a load today. It's kind of late in the day, and it's actually, yeah, it is kind of late in the day. It's like 2:30 right now, and I only have 4 hours left on my clock. But I have a pre-plan, basically the load that I'm supposed to pick up tomorrow, but I haven't looked to see exactly where it is. But what I can do now, I can do my bounce today, and that way I'll have, you know, that many more hours available on my clock to drive home. From the current position of where I am at the moment, I believe it's like 6.5 hours for me to go home if I were to make a beeline and go home straight from here. So I definitely want to knock out, you know, as many of those hours as I can today, and that way I just got to drive home tomorrow after I get loaded. I haven't looked to see if the place I'm picking up from has on-site parking or not, or if I'm gonna have to find a truck stop or rest area along my way. I kind of want to stop at a Pilot and shower. I parked at a Pilot last night in Kentucky when I parked for the evening, and I showered then, and I am filthy again, just from a mixture of the sweating and you know, touching the product. It was that refractory brick that was really dusty, but we did what we did, got it knocked out a day early, and like I said, we're ahead of the game, and we're one delivered load richer. So I've already got all my supplies put away. I'm gonna go ahead and do my trip planning for this next load and figure out what I'm gonna do as far as parking for tonight to wait to get loaded for the morning so I can go home. But I'm gonna cut the video off here, guys. I need to shower again. It's super hot. I'm gonna go ahead and hydrate myself and rest before I gotta get out of here. So appreciate you guys watching. Hear that truck around.